You've aged with grace. You've earned your wisdom. Your body? It's come a long way, carrying you through triumphs, trials, love, loss, and everything in between. You've survived storms. You've built a life. And every wrinkle, every line, tells a story worth honoring. But there's something else. Something quiet. Something that doesn't show up in the mirror. And yet, it can change everything. It's not often talked about at family dinners or doctor's visits. Not until it becomes impossible to ignore. And by then, it's already disrupted your sleep, your comfort, your freedom. It's your bladder. Yes, your bladder. One of the most overlooked parts of aging, and one of the most important. Because while the rest of you has grown wiser, stronger, more resilient, your bladder might be aging faster than the rest of you. And the signs? They're subtle, but they add up. Night wakings, urgency, accidents, embarrassment, isolation. It doesn't have to be this way. This is the truth no one told you. And today, we're changing that. Let's talk about something a little uncomfortable, but absolutely essential. Something most people never bring up. Not at the doctor's office, not with their partner, not even with their closest friends. Something so personal, so quietly frustrating, that many suffer in silence, day after day. Let's talk about your bladder. Now, I know, that might sound odd at first. We don't usually give our bladder much thought unless something goes wrong. But maybe we should, because this small, behind-the-scenes organ has a bigger impact on your quality of life than you might imagine. And here's the truth that catches most people off guard. Your bladder can actually age faster than the rest of your body. Yes, faster than your heart, faster than your skin, faster than your bones or your memory. And when that happens, it doesn't do it quietly. It doesn't slip politely into the background. No, it makes itself known. It starts with small annoyances. A few more bathroom trips than usual, a little pressure, a little urgency. You tell yourself it's nothing. Maybe just a part of getting older. But then, it starts to shout. It shouts through those sudden urges that seem to come out of nowhere. Through interrupted nights of sleep, again and again. Through the fear of a leak during a walk, a laugh, or a sneeze. Through the quiet decision to skip a trip, cancel an outing, or sit near the exit just in case. It shouts by slowly shrinking your world. But here's what matters most. This isn't the end of the story. Your bladder may be aging, yes, but that doesn't mean you're powerless. There are answers, there are solutions, there is hope. You just have to be willing to start the conversation. And it begins here, right now, with honesty, with curiosity, and with the courage to face the uncomfortable, so you can reclaim your freedom, your confidence, and your peace of mind. Because your bladder might be shouting, but you still get the final word. Are your nights no longer restful? Do you lie down hoping for a full night's sleep, only to wake up an hour later? Then again, and again, pulled out of your dreams by the same uncomfortable urge? Do you shuffle through the dark, half asleep, just to use the bathroom? Again, knowing you'll have to do it once more before the sun even rises? And when morning finally comes, do you feel groggy, irritable, drained? Not from your age, but from your bladder? Do you find yourself planning your outings around one single thing, access to a restroom? Is it the first thing you scan for when you enter a building, a shop, a restaurant? Do you skip road trips, sit on the aisle, or decline invitations because you're not sure how far the next toilet will be? Does the thought of being too far from a bathroom suddenly feel like a deal breaker for daily life? And what about those small, ordinary moments that used to bring laughter? A funny joke, a coughing fit, a spontaneous sneeze. Do they now bring a jolt of anxiety? Do you pause before laughing too hard? Because deep down, you know what might happen next? Have you started carrying extra pads, an extra pair of underwear, or even limiting what you wear? Not for style, but for protection? Do you feel a little self-conscious every time you sit down or stand up in public, wondering, did I leak? Did anyone see? And worse, do you keep it all to yourself, never telling anyone, not even your doctor, because it feels too personal, too embarrassing, too shameful? Let me tell you something that needs to be said. This is not just getting older. This is not just part of life or something you have to learn to live with. This could be your bladder, not quietly malfunctioning, but actively trying to get your attention. It's your bladder crying for help. It's trying to tell you that something's changed, that something's out of balance, that your bladder, like your skin, joints, or vision, is aging, but maybe at a much faster rate than the rest of you. And unlike wrinkles or gray hair, the signs of a struggling bladder don't show up in the mirror. They show up in your lifestyle, in your sleep, in your social life, in your confidence, in your quiet sacrifices that no one sees. But here's the good news. You don't have to keep sacrificing. You don't have to keep shrinking your life around something that's treatable, manageable, and most of all, not your fault. You deserve freedom. You deserve peace. And you deserve to know there's help, there's hope, there are answers. It starts with listening to your body, not ignoring it. And it continues by starting the conversation that too many people are too afraid to have. So let's break the silence. Let's lift the stigma. Let's talk about bladder health, not with embarrassment, but with empowerment. Because this isn't just about your bladder. It's about your quality of life. It's about your freedom to live it fully. As we age, something subtle but powerful begins to happen inside the body, changes we don't always see, but often feel. The muscles that support your bladder, the ones that used to contract and relax without effort, may start to weaken. Slowly, quietly, until one day you realize they're not doing the job they once did. The nerves that carry the messages between your brain and your bladder. Now's the time, or you can wait, Marin, those messages might start traveling a little slower. Or they may misfire entirely. Your hormones, those invisible messengers that help regulate everything from appetite to sleep to fluid balance, begin to shift. Estrogen decreases, testosterone too. And with those shifts come subtle changes in the bladder lining, in its elasticity, in its sensitivity. Even the brain, yes, your brilliant, resilient brain, might start having trouble syncing up with your bladder. What used to be a perfectly coordinated partnership becomes more of a disjointed conversation. The result? A bladder that doesn't always wait when it should. One that says, I need to go, even when it's only half full. One that wakes you up when you should be resting. That panics in traffic, that distracts you during conversations. One that suddenly seems to have a mind of its own. And not one that always has your best interests in mind. And here's the most frustrating part. The rest of you might feel great. You're active, you eat well, you still enjoy your hobbies, your walks, your routines. Your mind is sharp, your spirit is strong. You feel alive, maybe even more than you did in your 20s. And yet, your bladder is sending signals that don't match the rest of your experience. You think, this doesn't make sense. Why is this happening now? And maybe, quietly, is this just the beginning of something worse? Here's what you need to know. This is not a character flaw. It's not weakness. It's not failure. It's biology. It's aging. And it's common. But common doesn't mean you have to accept it without question. You see, for many people, the bladder begins to act old before you do. And that disconnect between a vibrant life and a frustrating bladder can be confusing, isolating, even painful, but it doesn't have to stay that way. Understanding why this happens is the first step to doing something about it. Because once you understand how your body is changing, you can begin to work with it, instead of feeling like you're fighting against it. Your bladder might be aging, but you are not out of options. You're just getting started. But here's the truth they don't often tell you. The one buried beneath embarrassment, silence, and resignation. The truth that should be on every health brochure, every doctor's lips, every aging wellness checklist, you can take back control. Yes, even if you've had bladder issues for years. even if you've been told it's just part of getting older. Even if you've quietly accepted it as your new normal. Waking up multiple times a night, skipping outings, planning your day around restrooms. You are not powerless. You are not broken. You are not alone. Because bladder problems, whether it's urgency, frequency, incontinence, or nighttime waking, are more treatable than most people realize. And you don't need invasive surgery or extreme measures to start seeing change. You can start reclaiming your life with small, practical steps that build up day by day into real, lasting relief. Start with the pelvic floor, the group of muscles that support your bladder, urethra, and other internal organs. These muscles can grow weak with age, but they can also be strengthened, just like any other part of your body. Through targeted exercises, often known as Kegels, you can improve bladder control, reduce leaks, and increase confidence. And you don't need a gym. You don't even need to leave your home. Just a few minutes a day can lead to a noticeable difference over time. Then there are the habits. The little things that can make a big impact: how much caffeine you drink, how late you eat, how often you go just in case. Even your posture on the toilet can influence bladder function. Small adjustments, like drinking water at strategic times, avoiding bladder irritants, or retraining your bladder with timed bathroom visits, can restore rhythm and reduce chaos. And if you need more support, science is on your side. Because today, we have access to breakthrough treatments that previous generations never even imagined. Medications that calm overactive muscles. Bladder training programs designed by specialists. Non-invasive therapies that use gentle electrical stimulation to reset your body's signals. And for those who need it, there are advanced options like bladder Botox, nerve stimulation, and other cutting-edge solutions, all designed to restore comfort, dignity, and control. You don't have to suffer in silence. You don't have to keep adjusting your life to accommodate your bladder, because it's your life, and it should feel like it still belongs to you. So let's be clear. You may be older, but that doesn't mean you have to feel limited. Not by fear, not by leaks, not by the nearest bathroom. This is your moment to stop settling, to stop apologizing, to start taking back control. You've spent a lifetime becoming the person you are today. You've overcome setbacks, heartbreaks, losses, and turned them into wisdom, grit, and grace. You've raised families, built careers, fought for your health, for your peace, for your joy. You've endured more than you ever thought you could, and still found a way to smile, to laugh, to love, and to keep moving forward. That's strength. That's resilience. That's earned wisdom. It's in the lines on your face, the calm in your voice, the way you carry yourself through every new season of life. So why should something as small and as fixable as bladder trouble get to write the next chapter of your story? Why should you have to shrink your world because of fear or frustration? Why should your days revolve around bathrooms, leaks, or late-night interruptions? Why should you feel anxious every time you leave the house, go to the theater, or laugh with friends? You shouldn't, because you've already proven that you're not someone who gives up easily. And you deserve to know you still have power. You still have choices. You can take charge. You can make changes, small, simple steps that lead to real results. You can strengthen the muscles that support your bladder. You can work with your body, not against it. You can talk to your doctor, ask the hard questions, explore new treatments, and find what works for you. You are not at the mercy of age. You are not too late. You are not alone. Bladder changes may be a part of getting older, but living in fear, silence, or shame does not have to be. Because aging is inevitable. Wrinkles, gray hairs, slower mornings, they come with time. They're a part of life. But losing control, losing your confidence, losing your freedom to live boldly and comfortably, that's not inevitable. That's not written in stone. That's something you can fight and win. This is your chapter. You get to write it with courage, with clarity, with control. So take the pen back, start today, and let the rest of your life be just as powerful, joyful, and free as the chapters that came before it. bladder and all. Thank you so much for spending your time with us today. If this video opened your eyes, gave you clarity, or simply made you feel seen and understood, give it a like. It might seem like a small action, but it goes a long way in helping more people find this important, often overlooked information. There are so many out there struggling in silence. Your click could be the thing that leads them to hope, solutions, and support. And if you care about aging well, not just surviving, but truly thriving, if you're passionate about staying in charge of your health, your choices, and your future, then be sure to subscribe and hit that little notification bell. We've got more empowering, practical, and honest conversations coming your way, all designed to help you feel strong, capable, and in control at every age. Remember, you are not defined by your diagnosis, not by a number, not by what's changing in your body. You are defined by your strength, your story, and your willingness to keep showing up for yourself. Stay strong, stay informed, and most of all, stay you. Because age is just a number, and you're just getting started.